I'll be honest with you, 9 months ago, I didn't really understand the detailed problems that London had. I didn't know that the mayor had failed to deliver the homes that he promised in 2016, that he had only built 3% of the homes, only 12,000 homes after he had promised 400,000 homes. I didn't realize that he had caused knife crime and violent crime to go up every single year he was in office. That's a 28.5% increase in crime on his watch. I didn't know how he had failed to invest in the police. I didn't realize how he had not supported London's economy. And I also didn't know how badly he had bankrupted our transport system and how he was punishing Londoners with his extended congestion charges and his LTN fines. I didn't realize how much damage Sadiq Khan had done to London. I really didn't know. But I did what I do with everything in my life. When I'm passionate about something, I go all in. And so I started studying the details. I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn and I said, would you get on a call with me? I want to learn more about this problem. Uncomplicated form of leadership. That's the perfect way to say it. Why does this have to be complicated? Here I am, your next mayor, speaking with you honestly and openly on the platforms you use every single day. I'm here talking to you. I'm here trying to have conversations with you. I'm not running and hiding. I'm standing and delivered. It's not complicated, so let's not make it complicated. I want to change everything. I want to shake things up and just do things the right way.
One, two, three. Listen.
Welcome to the Brian for Mayor Digital Battle Bus. Welcome to Battle Bus Live. I am Brian Rose and we are live on the Brian for Mayor Digital Battle Bus. Today touring the borough of Greenwich. Yes, that is the home to the Royal Observatory where Greenwich Mean Time is located. Also the home to the Cutty Sark, one of the most historic ships and one of the fastest of its time. Much like our bus, it's pretty fast. We're ahead of the curve and we're super excited to come to yet another borough of London. We've logged over 4,000 miles on this digital battle bus. I've been to every single one of the 32 boroughs in London twice. We're going for our third run right now, and we're going to keep going thousands of miles more all the way up to May 6th. And we plan on electing a new mayor for London on May 6th. We're so excited by the support. We're getting so much love in the media. We were in the Evening Standard yesterday on a 2-page spread. I'll be talking about that shortly. Everyone out there knows that we are the only candidate to beat the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and we are going to make history on May 6th and make it happen. I hope you're with us. Learn more about what we're doing here, and I want to talk about some exciting things today, especially our manifesto. And this is what we've launched this week, and it's so exciting. It's our manifesto for the future because it's time to take London in a new direction. This has incredible, incredible work, detailed policies. It's 50 pages long, and it really is an incredible document. We talk about how we're going to rebuild London's economy, and let me show it to you. It looks something like this. I've been out in the public, and people are literally trying to pull these out of my hand because they want to read through. This is 50 pages of quite readable policy. I know it's almost an oxymoron, readable political policy, but this is stuff that affects you. It affects your families. It affects your safety on the street. It affects your jobs, your business perhaps. It affects what you pay for housing in this city. It affects what you pay for transport. And this is a plan to fix London's problems. I'm going on a 10, 20-year horizon. We couldn't be more proud of what's in this document. And just to break it down, it focuses on the 4 main issues that Londoners care about, and that is rebuilding London's economy, putting 10,000 new police officers on the street, abolishing the congestion charge until 2022, and of course, building 50,000 new homes by Christmas. If you want to look at this document right now, you can. Go to brianformayor.london, click on the manifesto button on the top, or just go straight to brianformayor.london/manifesto. You can see this document in all its glory. And, let me be honest with you. 8 months ago, I started learning about London. I started learning about all of its problems. I really started from scratch, but I called up some of the best in the business. I had them on my show, London Real, and I started having detailed conversations with members of the House of Lords. I contacted senior members of the Metropolitan Police. I contacted senior high-level officials inside TfL, our Transport for London. I spoke with architects, entrepreneurs, doctors, scientists, Nobel Prize winners, and also everyday people on the streets that came up to me and said, Brian, I don't feel safe. Brian, my cousin just got stabbed last weekend. What can we do about this? Brian, my business is failing and the government isn't allowing me to get back to work. What can you do? Brian, I can't afford to live in this city. I'm a nurse. I'm a teacher. I'm a firefighter. How can you help? This is real people telling me this stuff. And I put it all together in massive sheets and massive documents, and we created this manifesto. And this shows that we are head and shoulders above any other candidate out there, including the ones of the two parties that have had hundreds of years to work on these things and tens of millions of dollars and pounds in donations from corporations. We have still come up with a manifesto that's better. And again, the response has been absolutely incredible. And again, this document is readable. My 4-year-old son, Caden, has been busy reading it at night at home, and he really can actually understand what's going on. He sees the houses, he sees the great celebration, he sees the police officers, he sees what we're going to do in the communities, he sees how we're going to fix Transport for London, he sees how we're going to make London digital first and free broadband for all, he sees how we're going to protect our freedoms of speech, and of course do it all with my green initiatives. It's all in this document, and it's something we couldn't be more proud of. Please look at this document right away. Forward this document leak to your friends. Post it on your social media feeds, brianformayor.london/manifesto, and you'll say, this is the guy I was talking about. Look at these ideas. This shows that it's not just about buses and billboards and flashy suits. This is the real stuff here. These are the answers that's going to solve our problems in London. And again, we just couldn't be more excited. And I want to thank all of the people behind the scenes that helped me create this. And I'm talking about those high-level officials down to the everyday people I meet in the streets. And again, that's what I'm doing here. I've been out on the streets for the past 4, 5, 6 months talking with real Londoners. Sometimes the police come and tell me I can't, but we've kept going. Today I'll be out on the streets of Greenwich talking to you. And I think that's a very different type of mayor than the one in City Hall, who, when you've seen recently, just weeks ago, when citizens of London came to see him in Enfield and ask him, why are you building these LTNs in our neighborhood? Why are you failing us on knife crime? He literally had to hide in a coffee shop for an hour, and then he ran away from his own citizens, the people he's supposed to represent, the people that he's supposed to get votes from. And now he hasn't made a public appearance since, and I've been told inside the Labour Party he's not allowed to go out in public. Now that does not seem someone that should be our next mayor. You need someone that can come out here and talk to you, and that's what we're here to do today. So I can't wait to come out and see the people in Greenwich. Again, leave me a question right now wherever you're watching this. I'm going to be answering your questions live here, and that's what makes me different than any other candidate. We are digitally transparent, and I'm going to be talking about the manifesto today, and also I'm going to talk about my plans to make London safe. And it's a two-pronged strategy. One of them is to invest in the Metropolitan Police with better trained police, a fully digitized police. But that's not enough. We also need to invest in communities. And my Corporates for Communities plan is going to invest £1 billion over 10 years directly into our community centers from the corporates that thrive in London. And I'm tired of hearing this excuse that there's no money left in London. I'm tired of hearing that TfL is bankrupt and the mayor is defunding the police. He's defunding our firefighters. He's defunding our community centers. I come from the business world, 30 years of business experience. I can find solutions to this, and there's no point, there's no reason why London runs at a profit. The rest of our centers and our transportation system should be bankrupt. I've found a way to fund this, and I want to share that with you today. I couldn't be more excited. I've been talking with people on the streets and having some really frank conversations about why my policies work, and it's just been incredible, and I want to talk to you about that today. So again, leave me a question right now. Share this video with someone on your social. We are strong because of you and this community. And let's talk a little bit about an update of what's happening at Brian for Mayor headquarters. First of all, what can I say? We're having fun. This is an incredible time right now. We are 3 weeks out from making history. We've been out there on the billboards. We've been out there with our digital battle bus, and now people are noticing. The Evening Standard, one of the premier publications here in London, has just put me on the front cover yesterday, And, you know, what can I say? They call me a breakdancing ex-banker trying to be our mayor. What can I say? I guess that's about right. I don't have a real problem with that. And that's a pretty good synopsis. But when you open this thing up, they gave us a full 2-page spread in this newspaper, which is, you know, something that really shows our ideas are resonating with the world. And again, they got some incredible headlines here. My £1 million bid to become your next mayor. They're showing pictures of our battle bus here. They're showing me in my suit in the studio. But it really is a detailed look into who I am, where I was born, how I was raised, but more importantly, the policies that are actually going to change London. They go into my details of building 50,000 new homes. They go into my detail of putting 10,000 new police officers on the street. They go into detail about my £100 million corporate for community deal. And they talk about how I'm going to run TfL at a profit. And this is exciting to see this pick up from mainstream media. The world is finally noticing that we are the candidate of choice out there. And it's great to see it all. They even put a lovely picture of me and my wife in there, which is always nice to take home and say, look, honey, you're in the papers as well. And she just loves seeing that, and my kids love seeing this as well. I think the world is finally realizing that we are the only candidate that can beat Sadiq Khan, and we will beat him on May 6th. And it's nice to see our mainstream media noticing this. We were just on the BBC just a couple nights ago where they gave us a full segment just to ourselves where we talked about our policies for the future. And again, every single day we are dropping in major publications. People are really responding to our manifesto, and we couldn't be more pleased here. Now we just got to take the next 21 days and take it all the way to the vote. So I'm going to need your help today, and I want to talk about how exactly we're going to do that, because now is the time to lock in your vote. And I want to talk about that right now. Some of you have requested to vote by post, and you've probably got a letter from your council that's sitting there in your home. Now is the time to fill that out. Now is the time to make Brian Rose your first choice for mayor. You do not want 3 more years of the same thing here, business as usual in London. We need a change. I am the only candidate out there who can beat Sadiq Khan, and the only candidate who's got better ideas than him. Now is the time to send in that postal vote to your local council. You need to sign it, put your date of birth in there, and send it in. You've only got a few days left to actually log that postal vote. So if you've requested one, go do it right now. If you do want to vote by post and you don't have it yet, go to brianformayor.london/postal, and you can fill in a form, and we'll email you that same piece. If you print it out, you can send it right into your council easily. But you've got to do that in the next few days because then the process ends, and then you'll have to actually physically vote, which we want everyone to do as well. But if you have the option, lock that postal vote in right now. Brian Rose as your first choice. In London, they have a possibility of a second choice. That's not going to help us. We have to beat Sadiq Khan. He thinks he's already got your vote. And that's what has really not impressed me much about our current mayor. He's not out there campaigning in the streets. He's not out there speaking with you transparently over digital media, answering your questions in real time. When he goes out in the streets and people try to ask him questions, he runs and hides. And that's because he already assumes you're going to vote for his party because your parents voted for them, perhaps, or your grandparents voted for them. Now it's time to break the cycle and say, Mr. Mayor, it's not good enough, your behavior over the past 5 years. Your knife crime record is not acceptable. Your housing record is not acceptable. And we want a choice for an independent candidate, fresh ideas and a new direction. I'm going by the Cuddy Sark right now here in Greenwich. It's absolutely stunning. Great to be here. And again, now is the time to lock in that postal vote. Brian Rose is your first choice, and you've only got a few days left to do that, so make that happen now. All right, a few more things going here at Brian for Mayor. I'll get back to the media a little bit later. You've probably seen our outdoor ads, and if you haven't, this is me standing outside of some of our outdoor digital ads and print ads out, billboards. Again, we have the largest outdoor campaign in British political history. We just doing first after first after first. Quite honestly, me and my team, we're trying to raise the bar when it comes to politicians being held accountable and getting their message out there. And I think after the work we've done on this campaign, from now on, every single race you'll see politicians raising their game to our level, and we're so proud of it. We want to get our message out there. We've got these ads out here, and I want to show you a quick video of some of the digital outdoor that we put out there. Again, if you see any ads like this, or if you see our bus today, take a picture, put it on your social, hashtag Brian for Mayor, and I want to send you mugs, I want to send you t-shirts, I want to send you swag. Here's a look at some of those outdoor ads on video. Again, if you see any of our outdoor ads, our leaflets, our bus out here, there's people literally outside of the bus right now taking pictures. Use hashtag Brian for Mayor. I want to send you some mugs. I want to send you some books. I'll send you some swag as well. We might even send you some London Real Party swag as well, because we have our own party now, and we couldn't be more proud about that. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that soon. Also, this is what the bus looks like if you haven't seen it before. This is a picture of the digital battle bus, and actually in person, it looks even bigger. It's a massive, impressive structure, and it's not really a bus. It's actually a mobile broadcasting studio. We've got multiple cameras out here. We can stream out to millions of people live worldwide, and I can have a real conversation with you. Again, I'm asking for your questions right now. Ask me hard questions. Ask me the questions that the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, the ones that makes him want to run and hide. Ask me those hard questions, and I promise to stand and deliver those answers to you, and I'm going to do that today. So again, we are completely changing the face of politics into a completely digitally transparent medium, and I'm going to take all of these digital networks and broadcasting platforms all the way with me to City Hall. And we're going to take London Real, which is aptly named, right into City Hall, and we're going to keep talking to you and having these conversations, and that's going to allow me to be the best and most effective mayor. So keep an eye out for this bus. Like I said, logged over 4,000 miles, every single borough of London twice. We're going for our third run now. And I just want to take a moment now and shout out to the Brian for Mayor Volunteer Army. This is hundreds of people behind the scenes that are out there volunteering for our campaign. If you're one of them, I just want to say thank you so much. There's a picture going up right now, just a few of them that were out recently with our battle bus, leafleting and passing the word. These people have so much passion. It's an incredible group. I had a live call with them last night, and it's absolutely amazing. I get on a live Zoom call with them every Wednesday night, and I tell them how impressed I am. I try to tell them exactly how important they are to our campaign. They are out there, hundreds and hundreds of people that are out there on the streets every day, that are posting things digitally, that are sharing our message because they believe in what we're doing here. They can see the passion. They can see the 50-page manifesto that backs everything up that we've been saying for 6 months in a document form in black and white with detailed policies that have been costed down to the pound. I know how I'm going to pay for the police. I know how I'm going to pay for the community centers. I know how I'm going to pay for the affordable homes. No other candidate has a plan. They talk a lot, but they do not have the details. Go check for yourself. It's not there. And that's why we have such a passionate volunteer army, but we need more. So this is the chance to come in with us for the big win. We've got 3 weeks left. If you want to volunteer for us, and again, we'd love it if you're in London, but anywhere around the world you can help. Go to brianformayor.london, click on the volunteer button on the top, or go to brianformayor.london/volunteers. Type in your name, your email, boom, we're going to get you in right away. We can have you help us. Go out there and leaflet with us. We can have you get on phone calls or just share our posts on social. Be part of it, and of course, be part of the Brian for Mayor inaugural ball. It's going to be a cracking party once we win. It's going to be days later. There's going to be some big name venues. I cannot confirm or deny. Kanye West is going to be there. The Rolling Stones. It's going to be a big party. And of course, the volunteers, they get the front row seats. So if you want to be a part of this, come volunteer with us. It's incredible. You can come out. You can meet me. You can come on the bus. And again, come for the big party when we celebrate the huge win on May 6th. We're excited. Thank you to the volunteers. You're absolutely amazing. Come join this incredible group. They have so much energy. It's again, we've never seen anything like it before, and people are actually advancing their own lives by being part of our campaign, and we couldn't be more proud. So thanks to the volunteers. Want to say a couple things before. I mentioned the London Real Party. It's been launched. If you want to learn more information about that, go to londonreal.party, and you can see This is what it looks like, the London Real Party, a little bit of our logo here. You can see it on screen. And again, we're so proud that finally now we can have our own political party. Yes, we are still independent with an independent voice, but now we have our own party, which just gives us more backing. Also, a little bit about the London Real Party. It's finally a party for Londoners. And what we represent are really important values like determination, innovation, perseverance, fortitude, and that indomitable spirit that this city and this country are famous for. That's what the London Real Party represents. And we are also fielding 4 candidates for the London General Assembly. And we're so excited about that. It shows our long-term commitment to local politics. And we are all in on this. This is something that we've thought a lot about. We've gone all in on. I just want to remind everyone out there that we've been campaigning for 6 months. For 6 months, we've been out here creating ideas, posting videos, doing 90-minute long real deals in my episode, criticizing and commenting on the mayor's failed policies. We've been out on this bus for 4 months, out there in the streets, out there in the snow, literally getting stopped and fined by police just because we believe in this message. And we couldn't be more excited about the London Real Party. And again, you can now join the London Real Party as well and become a member. So go to londonreal.party. And again, we'll send you some of this swag out here and just become part of something that's just going to be bigger than yourself. And we're excited to move that forward. So that's the big stuff. Again, one final thing I want to say, if you see any Brian for Mayor pieces, hashtag Brian for Mayor posted on any of your social platforms, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Use the hashtag. We're watching constantly, and we're going to send out t-shirts, mugs, pens, and we really want to do that. And finally, get that postal vote in now. Do it today. Just lock it in. Go find it. It's in your mail somewhere and say, oh yeah, of course, Brian Rose, my first choice. Of course I knew that. I almost forgot. Sign it, date of birth, get it into the council. Let's lock in a few 100,000, maybe a few million votes in right now. We can win it right now today. If everybody went in there and locked in your postal vote. If you want to vote by post, go to brianformayor.london/postal. Literally, you pipe in your name and your postal address, and boom, we'll email you the piece. You can print it out and send it in. If you haven't yet registered to vote, there's literally days left to do that as well. Go to votefirst.london. It'll take you 300 seconds, and you can register to vote. All you need to be is living in London with a national insurance number. That's it. It's simple. You send it into your council. They'll send you the form, and for that, you'll actually have to go in and vote physically on May 6th, which is okay. That works as well. Make sure you vote. Honestly, you can vote for whoever you want, but make sure you vote. Own the democratic process. If not, you are complicit in allowing that man to spend 3 more years in City Hall. And let's be clear, that's where he'll be, up in the top floor of City Hall, because he won't be out in the streets. He won't be going out in public because he gets heckled every time he is. And again, why would he bother? He's already got your vote for 3 more years. Let's not let that happen. I have to live in this city as well. Now, I want to hear from you. So please leave me a question. If you've never sent me a question before, now is the time. In 3 weeks from now, we're going to park this battle bus probably right in front of City Hall, but I won't be driving it around. I'll have a new job to do. So this is one of your last chances. Ask me a question. First of all, tell me, what borough do you live in, or what city do you live in? And what's your biggest challenge? What do you struggle with? How can I help you as your next mayor of London? Second of all, are you excited for the manifesto for the future? Have you seen this already? If not, go right now, brianformayor.london/manifesto. Check it out, share with it. And who do you plan to vote for on May 6th or today via your postal vote? Like I said, you can vote for me today, but type that in the chat. Next, are you planning on voting by post? Is that a yes or a no? Type that in the chat. And have you gone to our website to get that postal vote? Fourth, do you agree with my policies to make London safe? That means putting 10,000 new police officers on the street, but not only that, making them better trained and fully digitized, and injecting £1 billion of capital into our communities from corporates directly. We're not going to tax you for this money. It goes right in there from the corporates. Do you agree with my plans to make London safe? And lastly, is it time for new leadership, fresh ideas, and to take London in a new direction? Put your answers in there right now, and I'm going to be going to your answers very, very shortly. First, I want to start off with part 1 and talk about this incredible document in my hand. It's something we couldn't be more proud of, and it's called a Manifesto for the Future. This is something we've spent 8 months working on. Like I said, working with some incredible people behind the scenes, and it talks about our plans to rebuild London's economy, put 10,000 new police officers on the street, to abolish the congestion charge until 2022, and also build 50,000 new homes by Christmas. And look, I'll be honest with you, 9 months ago, I didn't really understand the detailed problems that London had. I didn't know that the mayor had failed to deliver the homes that he promised in 2016, that he had only built 3% of the homes, only 12,000 homes after he had promised 400,000 homes. I didn't realize that he had caused knife crime and violent crime to go up every single year he was in office. That's a 28.5% increase in crime on his watch. I didn't know how he had failed to invest in the police. I didn't realize how he had not supported London's economy. And I also didn't know how badly he had bankrupted our transport system and how he was punishing Londoners with his extended congestion charges and his LTN fines that's racked up millions of pounds in places like Enfield and Ealing and Southwark. I've been to all those places. I didn't realize how much damage Sadiq Khan had done to London. I really didn't know. But I did what I do with everything in my life. When I'm passionate about something, I go all in. And so I started studying the details. I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn and I said, would you get on a call with me? I want to learn more about this problem. And people looked at me and they looked at our website and they said, wow, this young man, because some of them are older than me, seems like he really cares and he wants to solve the problems of London. And I was blown away by the level of high-level support I got. I was getting on Zoom calls with people I never thought would spend time doing this. I'm talking about senior members of the House of Lords. These people have very important work to do and are usually senior members and very accomplished members of the British community. They took time out to help me on this policy. I got contacted by senior members of the Metropolitan Police that gave me detailed advice that is right here in this document, comes from those officers, from their mouths. I got in contact with senior architects that have helped me build the plans for the modular housing, which are actually outlined in this book. Pictures of the actual modular homes in this book are here, and that's been done by the architects. I got contacted by senior entrepreneurs, some of the founders of big names like Pizza Express and Yo Sushi, that advised me on the policy when it came to rebuilding London. And I was just so powerfully impressed and just humbled that they would take time out of their day to help me. And I'm talking about doctors as well, and scientists, Nobel Prize winners. These are all the people that contributed to this document. But I also want to say it wasn't just these people. It was also real Londoners in the streets. And I've had hundreds, maybe even over 1,000 conversations with real Londoners in the streets. And I've said, what are you struggling with? What's your challenge? And they've all had different challenges. Brian, my business is being shut down. I'm in the hospitality sector. I can't open my pub. My children have to carry knives to school because they're scared. My cousin got stabbed last week. I can't afford to live in this city even though I'm a nurse and my work is important. You know, I can't afford the congestion charge. I can't visit my grandmother because I can't pay the congestion charge that the mayor has extended to 24 hours a day. These are real conversations. And I thought, how can I solve their problems, but also pay for it? There's nothing worse than a politician that tells you everything's going to be okay, but can't actually tell you how he's going to pay for it. And so I went and I dug deep and I leveraged my 30 years of experience in the business sector. I've worked in the automotive industry. I've worked in aerospace. I've worked on Wall Street. I've worked in the City of London in the financial center. I've worked in digital media for 10 years. And I've also worked in digital education. And I've also worked in technology startup. And I thought, surely I can find a way to pay for this. And so I went deep and I started looking into the TfL. I saw all the land that they held that we could use to create revenue. So TfL wasn't running at a bankruptcy. I also looked into things like community centers and I thought, why can't we get corporates to donate? I looked into the police and thought, wow, if we digitize it, we can actually save money over time. And I look at everything through the lens of business, including my plans for the Great Celebration, which is my plans for 31 days of festivals, street fairs, music concerts to bring 20 million people safely into London in the month of August and make this year, 2021, our best year economically. Imagine us showing off to the world the best of what we offer in London, from the music to the arts to the culture to fashion, like my tailor John Kent does. All of these incredible things we can show off, from our technology to our commerce to our industry to our media. Everything we do here is world class, and I want to show the world that London is back. We're back in business. We've overcome one of our most challenging years, but we are looking forward with innovation, with solution, and again, with that incredible British indomitable spirit that we are famous for. We're going to show it off in August, and I can't wait. And so this is all embodied in this manifesto. And I really implore you right now to take a look at this thing. Go to brianformayor.london/manifesto. Share it on your socials. Share it with your friends and family who maybe have heard you talk about Brian for Mayor, but just aren't sure. Share them this document. It'll take them about 4 minutes, and they'll say, oh, I get it. Now I understand why you keep talking about this guy. This is clearly the real deal. And perhaps I'll vote for him as well. Again, I believe if every single Londoner had a copy of this manifesto in their hands right now, we would win this election hands down. We'll win because they'll see we have the best ideas and we are committed to solving London's problems. So again, couldn't be more proud of this document. Please download a copy and look into what we're talking about here. We're going to rebuild the economy. We're going to make London's streets safe. We're going to build those affordable housing. And we're going to finally sort out our transportation infrastructure. All right, it's time to go to your questions now. And again, if you've never left me a question before, now is the time to do it. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, it's all coming right here to my digital device. And I want to kick those questions off for you again if you don't remember them. What borough are you living in, or what city are you living in? What is the question you'd like to ask me? Are you excited for this manifesto? And who will you vote for on May 6th? Next, tell me, are you voting by post? Or have you actually gone to our website and ordered the postal vote form? Do you agree with my policies to make London safe, putting 10,000 officers on the street and investing in our communities? And finally, do you think it's time for new leadership, fresh ideas, and to take London in a new direction? I'm going for your comments right now, and there's a lot of them. I got pages and pages of comments here. Thank you so much. I don't know where to start. I'm going in with Jazzy DX Music on Instagram saying, Brian for Mayor, keeping it real in all caps. Thank you, Jazzy. Look, my show's been called London Real for 10 years. We like to keep it real. You've been seeing me broadcast for 10 years, unedited, unscripted, uncensored, uncut. We like to give it to you straight. I don't always get it right, but over time, I do find the right answers and the right solutions, and I am committed to this city. I'm committed to service, and I'm committed to making a difference. So thank you for noticing. I appreciate it. I got KC573 on Instagram saying, I'm glad you care about what the people want. I do. Thank you so much. I got Anthony Malda on Instagram says, God bless this man. Cool. I'll take that. Thank you so much. We need all the help on May 6th and even now on those votes. We got Mouse King 51 on Instagram says, I'm all for great minds coming together and making great things happen for all the people on the planet, the animals, and the future. And Mouse King, you're right. I've been blown away and humbled by all the support we've got by people that, you know, are very busy people that still want to be a part of that, which is incredible. I got Free Spirit 1969 on Instagram says, you get my vote. Do you have any plans to get the youngsters off the streets, youth clubs, etc.? It's a great question. I'm going to be talking about that today. Corporates for Communities is coming in part 3 today, and I'm going to break down how we're going to get £1 billion injected into these really important things. I got I Eat Spiders, great name there. They say you are the change we need. Thank you. We really feel like it as well. I got Briggs85 on Instagram says, don't give up. They are trying to stop you getting in office, unquote. And it's a great point. Look, the truth is they can't stop us because the democratic process will prevail, but you've got to get out there and vote. You got to vote by post, register to vote, vote by post, or get out there and log your vote on May 6th. We can win. The democratic process will win, but you've got to make it happen. So thank you for that, and thanks for reminding us that we got to make this happen. I got Bruno on YouTube. It says, great to start the day with you, Brian Rose, next London Mayor in shiny armor and the fantastic battle bus. Greetings from Mexico City. Thank you so much. Hey, Bruno, we were in the Mexico Post a couple days ago. Look, this campaign's going global. Let's be honest. We're talking about ideas that aren't just going to change London. These ideas are going to change New York City, Sao Paulo, Mexico City, Tokyo, Madrid. We are going to change the world with these ideas, and they're basics. Let's get the economy back. Let's get our transport sorted. Let's get our streets safe, and let's get houses built. So we've had so much interest from around the world. It's been incredible, and it's great to see we got support in Mexico City. I guess you're about 5 or 6 hours earlier, so thank you for being up. I got Jamrock on YouTube says, Brian, we love you from Brixton. I'd love some flyers to give out. Great stuff. If you go to brianformayor.london/volunteer, put in your details. I'll send you flyers and we can help out, or you can join our team on the streets. And again, we got 3 weeks left. Come in with us for the big win. It's going to be a great day, and we really appreciate you. I got a lot of love in Brixton. Spent a lot of time out there. It's an important place, and it's great to see support from all over London. I got, man, I'm going by the O2 Arena here. It's absolutely beautiful out here. I love going through the boroughs of London here. We have an incredible city. I'm seeing Canary Wharf from the opposite side. You know, I've lived here for 21 years. This place still doesn't surprise me on how beautiful it is. how it represents opportunity, how it represents the fact that anyone can come here and create the life you want. I love this city, and I want to get it in the right direction. And I want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of this thing. I'm seeing some incredible structures here. The Emirates cable car. I'm seeing beautiful things out here, and we just want to take this city to the next level. A couple more comments, and I'll get back and talk about how we're going to make London safe. Dylan Smith on Instagram says, will you protect London's heritage? I love this. This is a great question. And Dylan, you know, I'm a big fan of the history of London. It's so important that we always remember our history. And that's why I'm going to the Cutty Sark today. Going to go by the Royal Observatory and the museum up there. I've always tried to recognize the beautiful history that London has, and we're going to remember it. We're going to also understand how we can process that in the 21st century and always honor it and always have conversations about it. It's important that we always keep up a positive civil dialogue, and I think Londoners are the best. When we get everybody in the same room, when we get them off social media in the same room, they all want the best things for their children, for their grandchildren, for the city they love. They really do. And I'm going to be the mayor that doesn't divide people. You know, when we see the current mayor, all he's trying to do is divide you. He's trying to have arguments with the prime minister. They're making it about my team or your team, Labor or conservative. They fight back and forth, and guess what? The rest of us lose. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be a divisive mayor. I want to unite all of us to work towards that common good. That can only be done with an independent candidate like ourselves, and I can't wait to do that starting on May 6th. Again, rolling by the fabulous O2 Arena here. Spent and you know, the whole Millennium Dome. I remember when it was built back in the day. Spent many a good night in that O2 Arena, seeing people like Beyonce, the UFC. I even saw Jordan Peterson speak in that arena. It's an incredible place, and again, this city never ceases to amaze me. I appreciate being here every single day. Again, I'm a Londoner through and through. I've lived in this city more than any other city in the world, 21 years. I'm a citizen. My kids were born here, and I plan on being buried right in this city. I haven't picked out the graveyard yet, but I'm working on it right now. So a few more questions, and we'll get back to you. I got Ron Swanson on YouTube says, Brian, please tell me the secret of getting your tie knot that chunky. I can't ever get mine to look this chunky. Good luck. Thanks, Ron. And, you know, I didn't always dress like this. You know, when I first got to London, I was wearing skater chic is what my look was. The G-Star trousers and the skateboard T-shirt. And if you look at my early episodes of London Real, that's what happened 10 years ago. But, you know, I just slowly started to change. We all change. And I started to embrace the best of British. And now I've got what I think is the best British tailor in the world. That's John Kent. And he's made these incredible suits for me. And he's finally got me dressed and ready for work. And so I come to work every day and I try to show the world and my team that I'm ready for business every single day. And I think, you know, the better you look, the better you feel. The better you feel, the better you do. And so I think it's important to get up and show yourself and the world every day that you are ready, even if you're not sometimes. And so I come out like this. I will teach how to tie the double Windsor knot. I'll be doing a special live video for that. Once I win, I'm going to do windmills in front of City Hall, and I'm going to do a double Windsor training class for my knot. Those are two promises I have to you, and thank you for noticing. A couple more questions. We got David on YouTube saying, time for a completely new and uncomplicated form of leadership. Drive out corruption from the sewers. David, I couldn't have put it better myself. Uncomplicated form of leadership. That's the perfect way to say it. Why does this have to be complicated? Here I am, your next mayor, speaking with you honestly and openly on the platforms you use every single day. I'm here talking to you. I'm here trying to have conversations with you. I'm not running and hiding. I'm standing and delivered. It's not complicated, so let's not make it complicated. I want to change everything. I want to shake things up and just do things the right way. A couple more. I got Larry C on YouTube says, open up all the shops, let the people work. And that's why rebuilding London's economy is one of my primary things. I'm going to abolish the congestion charge, drop business rates to zero to kickstart the economy. And then the great celebration is going to bring people into London. We must have a business person in charge to proactively build this economy. Otherwise, it's not going to bounce back magically. We're in the worst recession in 300 years right now. We need a business person at the helm. Lastly, I got Jason JVR on YouTube says, our current leaders are misleading. We need you, Brian. And I think Jason's referring to our current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. The man is a master of the press release. He's a master of the photo. He's always taken a really good picture with key workers, with youth workers. But then when he gets back to City Hall, he slashes their budgets. He's always got a picture with the nurses, with the police officers. But when he gets back to City Hall, He usually sells them out on social media. This is not leadership, in my opinion. This is politicking, and I think the citizens of London are sick and tired of it, especially when you look at the poor results over the past 5 years. It's nothing short of criminal. His record when it comes to making London safe, building houses, transport, or even focusing on the economy. And I want to talk about that right now, which is credible. Last question here. Twisted State on YouTube said, "Oh my God, this is live. I thought this was all pre-recorded, but he just said my name." It's great to see you, Twisted State. This is all live. This is how we do it here. It's very important. And again, ask me a question. I'll read it out. Ask me the hard questions. That's why I'm here. And again, while I'm here, show me one other politician that does this. Show me one that's willing to come out here live and answer your hard questions, that's willing to go out on the streets and have hard conversations with you. You're not going to see a single one. And that should tell you a lot about your choice for mayor. All right, I want to go and talk about some really important things in this manifesto. And it's important to me because it's about keeping our streets safe. And again, there's 50 pages of detailed policy here that's going to change your life in the next 24 months. It really will. It'll change the amount of money you make. It'll change how safe you are. And if your family is safe, if your friends are safe, it'll change how much you pay for housing. It'll change how much you pay for transport. This is real things that are going to affect you. You have to take ownership of this. And what I want to point out today is how I'm going to make London safe. And there are two parts to this narrative. And I want to talk about part one. And this comes directly from the manifesto. And this is part of my whole section here about tackling the crime epidemic. And you're going to see this slide go up on the screens right now. And this is how we start. 10,000 new police, but it's better trained and a digitized police force. And so many of the headlines you've seen in 2000 and 2021 have focused on violent crime, something that every Londoner is outraged by. Since the present mayor came to power, London crime figures, especially violent crime, have gone up year after year after year. And now, if you look at 2021, murder rates are at a 3-year high in the capital. Can you imagine that? One of the most prosperous cities in the world. And we've got teenagers getting stabbed to death on our streets. It's unacceptable, but it's something the mayor hasn't even mentioned as he's been out there campaigning for your vote on May 6th. It's curious to me how he hasn't mentioned one of his biggest failures. And so I want to show you some more slides here of what I want to do, and that is those policing. But proper policing does not mean cheap policing. And that's why I've costed this down to the pound. And I'm going to hire and train 10,000 extra staff, which is going to cost £300 million in the first year. £300 million is going to cost per year to have these police officers trained. And again, this is something no other candidate talks about. They throw out numbers, but they don't know how we're going to pay for this. And how we're going to pay for this is through something called an infrastructure levy. And we're driving right now, right around through Canary Wharf, where I see massive high-rise buildings all around me. Some are residential, some are bank buildings where I used to work, some are incredible retail outlets. And they've all been placed here thanks to Transport for London, who created the Jubilee Line extension and made it very easy to get out here to these stations here in Greenwich and right by the O2 Arena. And yet, there's prosperity around me here, and yet the TfL is going bankrupt and we don't have enough police officers on the street. That isn't right in my book. And that's why I've created the infrastructure levy. And that's going to levy a 3% charge on all of these developments here that are located within 500 to 1,000 meters of a Transport for London stop. And all I'm saying is this: if your property has gone up more in value than the average of London, and again, I don't want to punish you for properties going up, but if it's gone up that extra bit thanks to TfL, I want you to kick back 3% of those gains. It's modest, but it's enough to raise billions of pounds per year that we're going to put directly into our police officers. Now, make sure you understand what I said right here, because this will be hours probably before one of the other candidates for mayor copies this policy. They're very good at co-opting our policies. So remember, this idea came from us because, again, I've had high-level officials behind the scenes talking to me about this. We've actually spoke with developers about this levy, and I'll be honest, they're not happy about it, but they know that it's coming because they know they need to pay their part, and we can take this money and invest in real things that'll make our streets safer. And so, again, welcome to Battle Bus Live. I am Brian Rose, and we are live